The reason is because Satan can only be in one place at one time, no matter how fast he moves. The reason is from here, verse 1, Job chapter 1, verse 7, the Lord said to Satan, where have you come from? Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro on the earth and from walking up and down on it. Like he goes to places, he lands in places. He can only be, he's a created being. Only God is omnipresent, where Satan and demons are, though they are not physical beings, they are spirit beings, and yet they can only, for some reason, I'm not sure how it works, honestly speaking, but they can only be in one place at once. So then the question becomes not so much if Satan, because Satan's not going to bother with us unimportant people in the world, probably world leaders that can do real damage with certain decisions, and real damage that can affect the whole earth and all of human history. We affect our little pocket of our life and influence, right? But anyway, demons though, Satan's minions, which are demons and fallen angels. The question is, can they put thoughts in your minds? Well, the answer I think is certainly yes, they can. The follow-up question is, well, even like we think about Matthew chapter 4 in Jesus' temptation in the wilderness, he was tempted throughout the 40 days, but only the 3 are mentioned there, right? If you are the Son of God, turn these stones into bread. If you're the Son of God, fall down from this temple, and then quoting the Psalms that he will command his angels concerning you, and your feet will not strike the stone. He wanted to showboat miraculous power, but that was not God's plan for Jesus to win followers. It was not to showboat power. It was to attract through weakness and sacrifice. So Jesus couldn't do it, and Jesus could not use his power to overcome the human temptations that he needed to overcome in order to fully experience humanity and yet be without sin. It'd be cheating, because the rest of us would be like, I can't turn these stones into bread. He's like, I can't. And he's like, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. And finally bow down and worship me. Satan says, I'll give you these kingdoms of the world, which obviously Jesus said no. But there's the voice there, right? There's a like that's not from my flesh. That's from real Satan, the outside of you, external from you. Yeah. So the question is, can they? The answer would be yes. Then the question would be, how much should we ordinarily expect that to happen? Is the question. Because that's also very important. And I would say that from a biblical point of view, you see here the armor of God. Back to Ephesians 6. What is interesting about Ephesians, the book of Ephesians, is that Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 onwards speaks about the armor of God. And what's interesting is that if you look at you can just scan here in terms of the commands that come in chapter 4 to 6. These are very ordinary commands, speaking the truth in love, walking in new life. Verse 422, put off your old self, put away falsehood, be angry and do not sin, don't steal, work hard, do not put away anger and bitterness and be kind to one another. Again, in chapter 5, you see, now walk in love, avoid sexual immorality, here in verse 3 of chapter 5. Be godly husbands and wives. Okay, so you see this, right? And the same thing and then now you have chapter 6. Now in family and then in work. You see, these are what some theologians have called ordinary spiritual warfare, not extraordinary spiritual warfare.